the Global Halal Shura Hub special interview session with our host. I'm your sister, Dr. Mutmainah Anwar. Today, I'm truly honored to introduce you to a very special guest, Sister Luliatul or Luli. She's not an ordinary person. She's a lecturer and a researcher at the University of Siliwangi in Indonesia, with experience in Islamic social finance, halal innovation, and women's empowerment. Since 2018, she has been serving with the Wakaf Center for Indonesian Development and Studies, where she is currently the vice chairman and researcher. Luli holds a bachelor's in Islamic banking and a master's in Islamic economics and finance. And she has further enriched her knowledge through international training programs across the globe. She actively promotes productive wakaf and the halal ecosystem through conferences, seminars, and publications, while contributing to research and collaboration at both national and international levels. Certified as both wakaf manager and halal supervisor, she has led projects in halal tourism, Islamic fintech, digital and green wakaf, and community empowerment initiatives. So please join me in welcoming Sister Luli. She is one of the hosts of Global Halal Shura Hub. We'll start with the first question, and that is, could you please introduce yourself and tell us a bit about your personal journey so far?
Okay, thank you, Dr. Samina. My name is Luliatul Mutmainah, but you can call me Luli. Currently, I'm working as a lecturer in Halal Quality Management Department, Faculty of Islamic Studies at University of Siliwangi. It's located in West Java, Indonesia. And actually, I started my journey as an assistant researcher when I was in my bachelor degree. I love reading and have a curiosity in some issues related to empowerment, social finance, and sustainability. But after I pursue my master degree, and then I started to focus only on wakaf and halal industry, especially for halal tourism. So therefore, since 2008, I have done some research project in wakaf and tourism with my lecturer and also my relatives.
Mashallah, sister. Question, because the halal brand is quite varied, from one country to another. So to you, what does halal mean personally?
Okay, for me, halal is the way of life, which means I cannot live my life without considering the halal. I should ensure what I consume, spend, and get is halal. And halal is not only about certification or standard, but it's about our choice. It's our first choice, especially as a Muslim, to become a servant of Allah. And halal is the crucial rule in Islam, in my religion. However, but halal also can be enjoyed by everyone. I mean, people with any religion should feel safe to consume or to spend the money for the halal product, because halal is safe, hygiene, and also healthy. Yeah.
I know the halal sector is quite big in Indonesia, and it's basically like a lifestyle, and there's so many conferences, so many events happening every single day on halal. It is something that people in the West, like myself, we feel quite jealous, actually, sister. Because for us, it's it's like when we go shopping, sister, in the West, we have to look at every single ingredient, in the biscuit or anything, even the biscuit, even the cake, sister, if the gelatin is halal, or even the like a lot of bakery products in the West, they use lard, and lard is from pig fat. So we
Yeah.
have to be very careful, sister.
So
And basically, what inspired you to get involved with the halal matters, halal area, and also the halal business sector, please? I would love to know.
okay. Actually, when I learned about Islamic finance, and then I found that Islamic finance will be useless without any halal business sector because it's like a demand and supply mechanism. So, real sector can be the huge demand of Islamic finance. Therefore, I shift my focus from only Islamic finance to how to optimize and to make innovation in Islamic social finance for strategic sectors such as blue economy, green economy, that including halal industry such as halal tourism. Therefore, my thesis topic is about wakaf productive for halal tourism development. And I realized that halal tourism, or we can say Muslim friendly tourism, is like a huge gap to open so many sectors, real sectors such as food and beverage, fashion, crafts, hotels, and so many things.
Wow. So beyond food, how would you explain the broader scope of halal? Example, finance or fashion or cosmetics, particularly in Indonesia, please.
Okay. Yeah, halal industry sector Indonesia has various strategic sector, I think,
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm,
because you know that halal is not only about food, beverage, and our assets all in our house maybe are also should be halal.
mm-hmm,
What we wear in our daily activity should not contain the material that is non-halal,
mm-hmm,
or what we put on our face like skincare, makeup also should be halal.
mm-hmm,
And I think Indonesia is a huge Muslim population. That's why
mm-hmm,
Indonesia has one of the big of the consumer spending market for halal industry. And
mm-hmm,
uh, we can say okay, halal sector based on set of Islamic Global Economic Report has six sectors like finance, and then food and beverage, fashion, media and recreation. After that, pharmacy and cosmetics, and also Muslim halal tourism.
mm-hmm,
Indonesia has all of them with the big market over there because we have more than 80%
mm-hmm,
Muslim with more than 200 million people.
mm-hmm,
And you know that maybe I can say that halal tourism or Muslim halal tourism is one of uh, the big potential because it's about the facilities to Muslim
mm-hmm,
people should do their worship when they
mm-hmm,
go for traveling, they do business trip. Yeah, hopefully they can afford halal food and beverage also in their journey without any doubt, something like that. That's
mm-hmm,
why the government also has a big concern for halal tourism, and Indonesia has like Islam Indonesia Muslim Travel Index every year, yeah, that control
mm-hmm,
and also assess that we have the standard of Muslim travels in something like that. And I think about fashion too. Indonesia has so many areas, different areas with different demography, and also various culture, ethnics.
mm-hmm,
That's why the fashion also has developed massive enough, I think, yeah, in this
mm-hmm,
era. So
mm-hmm.
many hijab style in Indonesia, with
Yeah,
so
I
many
know. Yeah,
color and motifs. Yeah, I think
yeah,
it helps halal industry development in Indonesia, and halal is not about food and beverage.
yeah. Buy a lot of Indonesian, Islamic clothes, in the
Yeah,
West. Yeah, hijab, the ready-made hijab,
yeah,
and plus, the prayer
prayer mat.
gowns. Yeah, yeah, we do. So, yeah, and also the quality is also very good. Like you
Yeah,
have the batik, right?
yeah, batik.
Yeah, I mean, it's so, the quality is so good. So yeah, I mean, mashallah, yeah, I mean, the talent is there in Indonesia, definitely. I
And
also want to touch on like the state of the halal industry in Indonesia in terms of like maybe fintech or I mean, what is the government? Is the government actually encouraging, the halal sector in Indonesia, or is it the private sector that is pushing it? I would like to know the state of the halal industry in Indonesia, and who is actually pushing it, or is it the religious authorities? If you could please kind of explain about that, please.
okay, actually, we have synergy between the government and also the private sector, because the government cannot um, do massive movement for halal in the industry development without the private sector. And in current era, we call it as Badan Penyelenggara Jaminan Produk Halal. We call it as BPJPH.
Mm-hmm.
That it's the authority for halal sector Indonesia. But actually, um, we also get help from Ministry of Religion, because um,
Mm-hmm.
in the past, halal, do you know that like halal certification or something like that, it's under Ministry of Religion and also Majelis Ulama Indonesia. But um, with the help
Mm-hmm.
of the Halal Product Assurance Organizing Agency or BPJPH, we can what's that? We can develop more and more with the huge movement, I think, over there. And um, beside BPJPH, Majelis Ulama Indonesia, and also Ministry of Religion, Indonesia also has the Committee of Islamic Economics and Finance, National Islamic
Mm-hmm.
Economics and Finance Committee, or we call it as Komite Nasional Ekonomi dan Keuangan Syariah (KNEKS), that
Mm-hmm.
has the
Mm-hmm.
the, the division of halal industry. And yeah, Indonesia, I think halal industry development in Indonesia is still growing up, but however, we should realize that we are one of the largest Muslim population in the world with more than 80%, like I said before. So hopefully Indonesia is not only big for the market and the spending one, but also for the production of halal product for the people in Indonesia, and also for the foreigners, like in to have export potential. And additionally, Indonesia also has some massive innovation for halal certification, including for
Mm-hmm.
import products. So the government makes sure that any product come from the other countries has the halal certificate. So, um, but it's not only for the other countries' product. Indonesia also has concern to help the small enterprise to get free halal certification process that we call as Sehati, sertifikasi halal
Mm-hmm.
gratis. And there are so
Mm-hmm.
many part of the community that synergy to make that facility, because we need we call it as the pendamping proses produk halal for the small enterprise. It's like a
Mm-hmm.
assistance program to help the owner or the seller to get halal certification with the free of charge.
Mhm.
And I think the synergy is not only from the halal industry sector, but also the um, NGO, such as we
Yeah.
have zakat institution. So in the last 2 years in my university, the Forum of Zakat Organization collaborate with National Committee of Islamic Economics and Finance to give the halal literacy for the owner of small enterprise in the city, and they can get the halal certification for free too. So I think the halal
Mhm.
certification has to be followed by the massive literacy and also to raise awareness
Mhm.
for the people. There are so many agendas, like you said before. Yeah, we have so many webinars, conferences, and
Mhm.
we have also so many influencers in halal literacy.
Yeah, and you know the as you said, the government or the Zakat Foundation, they're providing literacy
Yeah,
for the a small, maybe it is for the small SME sector. Is it for the
yeah,
SME
SME
sector?
sector, micro and small.
And is that for every sector or is it just for food? I mean, is
No.
it all the sectors?
Actually, it's for all the sectors, but for the priority, actually, Indonesia has a stage for the mandatory halal certification, and
Mm-hmm.
the top priority is for food and beverage.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, in 2024, we have that mandatory, but yeah, because there are so many products in Indonesia, and Indonesia has the large area, so the deadline for the mandatory has been postponed until 2026. Yeah.
Right. Okay. So after 2026, it will be mandatory. Without the halal certification, they cannot trade. Would that
Yeah.
be right? Okay.
Yes.
Mashallah. What a great initiative. Actually, that is very good. Actually,
Yeah.
and I was just curious in terms of halal tourism. As you said, you're an expert with halal tourism. What does that actually mean, sister? I mean, I have done research on halal tourism as well, but from an Indonesian perspective, what does the halal tourism actually comprise of?
Uh,
Uh, yeah.
okay. There are so many literature about halal tourism, and there are so many perspective about it. But
Yes.
when I did my research last year, and then uh, I did interview, and then the respondents, the experts say that actually uh, friendly Muslim tourism is about the extended service for
Mhm.
tourism. I mean, the tourism destination is not different with the general one, but we have
Mm.
extended service, like we have to ensure the halal certification for the restaurant, for the small and micro enterprise that sells their food and beverage
Mhm.
over there, and
Mhm.
also the facilities like for uh, musola, we call it as musola, and then
Mhm.
we have spirit like for um restroom, something like that. Yeah, we have to make sure about it. I mean, Indonesian government perspective about halal tourism or Muslim friendly tourism is about the the security and also
Mhm.
the comfortable for the Muslim to go anywhere, to go travel with family. Yeah, because I see that Muslim friendly tourism is also a family friendly
Mhm.
tourism. Yeah, because it's
Yeah.
for the kids. I mean,
Yeah.
yeah, they
Yeah.
cannot see the non-halal things, and
Yeah.
they can
Yeah.
consume the safe one.
Mm-hmm. I think it's the same in the West as well with halal tourism. It is actually a growing trend in the West, and it's similar actually. Like there are a few halal tour guides even in New Zealand,
Yeah,
and they just have to ensure that wherever the Muslim family or the individual goes, it adheres to Islamic values, the main Islamic values, like there's no pork, in the restaurant, and also the food is halal. We have to make sure that the food is halal. They use, in the restaurant, they use the halal meat, and also the way they cook, and there's no wine, alcohol,
yeah,
or beer, so, and obviously, like according in terms of accommodation, again, they arrange, halal friendly hotels or motels, or nowadays Airbnb, which is
mm,
easier, with Airbnb. And also there's prayer facilities wherever they go, because for us,
yeah,
it's not like Indonesia where every single corner there is a place to pray. But for us, we have to really plan it, so that and also the prayer times,
yeah,
because in the West, the masjids, they are not allowed to give azan.
yeah.
Many of the Western countries, they call it noise pollution. But anyway, so we just use, we have the timetables, and of course with mobile phones, you hear the azan, you can, you can set it up yourself,
Yeah.
so that's not an issue. Yeah, so it's very similar, sister. But halal tourism is a very big sector, especially in places like New Zealand and Australia, because
Yes.
they're very touristy countries, So
Yeah.
mashallah, you've done research in that, and that is a big asset, really, you know. And in terms of the halal sector in Indonesia, we'll just focus on Indonesia because you are Indonesian, and you are in Indonesia. So, what are the challenges you can see, in terms of the halal sector, and the growth of the halal sector, from your point of view, sister?
Okay. Actually, there are so many challenges I think in Indonesia that still face until today because we have so many people, and then we live in spirit area, the large area, and but maybe I can share the three of them. That the first one, the crucial one, is about the complexity of halal certification process. You know that even though there is a huge movement of digitalization of halal certification process, yeah, because
Mm-hmm.
um in this era we have the Zoom and we have so many platform. BPJPH also developed the platform Si Halal to help the people for processing their halal certification, which
Mm-hmm.
means that in the past when I was in master degree, I tried to open how about the halal certification process, and it's still manual, and we have to go to the city that has the laboratorium for checking
Yeah.
the product, something like that. But yeah, it's good for now because we can use the digital platform for the halal process. But actually, Indonesia is a huge country, therefore
Mm-hmm.
um, we need more people to help,
Mm-hmm.
especially for the halal auditor and also halal
Mm-hmm.
supervisor around this nation.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so I think halal certification process is not only about the stage but also the the human resource that competence in that area, because
Mhm.
sometimes the owner of the um, product of or the brand
Mhm.
has no knowledge about halal, and
Mhm.
some of them are non-Muslim, but they
Mhm.
want they want halal certification to help their customers
Mhm.
to get the product. And so
Mhm.
we have different approach. We have to give
Yes.
them literature and also education about halal from the basic one, and then the
Mhm.
process. I think that's one of the challenge. And the second one, maybe it's about the raw material, because some raw materials is not halal certified. I
Mhm.
mean, for the meal or for the cake, some
Mhm.
of them comes from the pork base, such as
Mhm.
gelatin or something.
Mhm.
So
Mhm.
it's a challenge for us, or maybe for government too, to make or develop, or maybe to get the substitute raw material product that has halal guarantee, because
Mhm.
it's needed by the industry.
Mhm.
Yeah. And I think the last one is about halal awareness. I mean, we have different access for different cities, or maybe for the regency, or maybe for the villagers. So I
Mhm.
think in some part of Indonesia, halal is not the serious issue. I
Mhm.
mean, people, but both consumers or maybe producer, do not know about what is the halal standard,
Mhm.
and they only use their subjective opinion about halal concern. I mean, okay, the owner of the brand is Muslim, or maybe I
Mhm.
know the seller, I know he is good in religion, so we don't have to doubt about it. But it's different, religion and also the halal standard is different. Or maybe some reason people do not need to know about halal certification, because the product or brand has already known by public and famous. So people
Mhm.
will go for buying it without any halal concern, or maybe just,
Mhm.
oh, it's a legend, so it's okay, I just buy it.
Mhm.
It's a good one, but
Mhm.
actually they don't have any halal certification. So I think
Mhm.
halal awareness is one of the big challenge too for us.
Mashallah. Do you think blockchain makes it easier?
Yeah, I think the technology like a blockchain, or maybe the platform that can make any track for halal record is
Mhm.
important. I So when we scan the product, we know
Mhm.
the raw materials, the
Mhm.
process, the
Mhm.
logistic, also the halal value chain. I think it's better to build something like that, because last year also I have some ideas to do that, but I postpone it because I know that I'm not an engineer or something. So
Mhm.
I have to make collaboration with someone who is expert in that part, because maybe like 5 years ago I
Mhm.
tried to make a simple paper about wakaf blockchain.
Yeah.
And then yeah, I have chance to go to Fintera in Malaysia. It's about
Mhm.
wakaf blockchain. So I think why we don't have any halal blockchain, because banking industry also use blockchain in this era.
Yes.
Yeah, some
Yeah.
of the bank uh, industry use blockchain. So maybe we can make halal
Yeah.
blockchain
I think
to
it would be a very good
get it.
project actually for one
Yeah.
of your students, sister. And I'll be more than happy. You know I'm an engineer. I'll be more
Oh,
than happy
Masya
to
Allah.
project manage it, sister. I think it would be a brilliant like a final year project, for one of the technically minded students, to develop an app, you know with yeah, and so that people can just have it on their mobile phone, and they can just check it, they can actually scan the barcode, sister, the barcode,
Yeah, the
just scan it.
barcode.
Yeah, and everything will come up. Yeah,
Yeah,
from the
hopefully.
source, yeah, from the source to the final,
Yeah.
the manufacturers, information and everything, all the can just come out. I think it would be brilliant project actually. uh,
Yeah,
uh, uh, uh,
actually, BPJPH has the facility to check the product. Such we when we talk for the brand or maybe something, so we
mhm.
just type like chicken X, and then they will show the ID of certification, halal certification, but only the ID.
Yeah.
Only the identity, not the track record.
Yeah, but we can go a bit further, isn't it? I mean, I think it'd be a very good app, and maybe Indonesia can export the app to other countries,
Yeah, hopefully.
So I think, yeah, it would be the
Brilliant.
strengths of Indonesia being a halal hub. What I mean, apart from maybe the population, what do you think the strengths are for Indonesia in terms of being a leader in the
Mm.
halal market, really globally? I mean,
Mm.
globally.
Okay. About the strange, I think back to the huge population, I think. So I think the first one is about the Muslim population because Indonesia has the world's largest Muslim population with which creates a huge domestic market. I mean, we don't have to sell to another country, just sell to our country first, and then we have the big market for our products and service too. And I think this massive domestic demand makes it a crucial base for the global halal economy because when we can provide in the nation, then they can develop to um, other countries. I mean, because you know that this digital era. So I think this is because this one because we have various ethnics, culture. So then we have various halal industry sectors that another country doesn't have it. So
Yes.
it will make a unique product, halal unique product, something like that. So for instance, like hijab and then clothes, there are so many new brand for Muslim fashion in this era. It's
Mm-hmm.
not only
Mm-hmm.
for the woman but also for the man.
Yes.
With
Yeah.
there are so many style of sarung
Mm-hmm.
this era, and there are so many motifs for prayer maids, something like
Mm-hmm.
that.
Yeah.
So I think that's one of the strength, and I think the second one is about digitalization. Like I said before, maybe if there is a huge demand for halal market in Indonesia, and then
Mm-hmm.
with the use of social media, maybe people in Malaysia wants to know about the product, and then they come to Indonesia, or maybe
Mm-hmm.
they ask the Indonesian people to deliver to their country, something like that. So electronic word of mouth has the huge impact for halal
Yes.
industry development in Indonesia. I think it
Yeah.
comes from the consumers, they share to their social media or their Google review, and then from the content creators and also influencer because last year I did research about the intention for halal tourism destination in West Java, and one of the variable is electronic word of mouth, and yeah, it significantly impact for the intention. And
Mm-hmm.
in West Java, Bandung also has is one of um, the most foreigners
Mm-hmm.
intention to come for
Mm-hmm.
Hajj. Yeah, because Bandung is safe for for Muslim, and they
Mm-hmm.
have so many um, choice like for the nature, for the craft or something like that. And I think one of the important Indonesia is about the government because our government has serious concern about the massive of halal industry development,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
especially for the certification. And we have so many what's that statement and also the regulation.
Mm-hmm.
So there are so many agenda every year to educate people, and to make some movement. Also, they build the synergy from the government, media, also
Mhm.
universities and community, because the university and then the community, or maybe like foundation uh, can build the halal center. Yeah,
Yes.
then halal center has an important role to educate people about halal, and they can be a consultant for the people, so it helps the government. Yeah,
Yes.
yeah.
And
And
also
also,
with the halal sector, halal business, is also very important, sister. So could you tell me, is the Indonesian government, well, how is the Indonesian government supporting um, um, maybe the youth or a certain sector of the population to start SMEs, especially in the halal arena?
ah, okay. The government helps the people by uh, developing, by establishing the, we call it as bazaar, how to say that, like a festivals for halal products. So they facilitate the owners with the stand,
Mm-hmm.
with the place to show their products. And
Mm-hmm.
after that, they invite so many institutions to come to the area. And then
Mm-hmm.
there are so many workshop
Mm-hmm.
and camps over there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, especially in Jakarta, we call it as Indonesia Sharia Economic Forum. And in the past, maybe like 10 years ago, it's about only about finance, insurance, zakat, wakaf. But for now, the Indonesia Sharia Economic Forum has so many halal product stands. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
and we have Bank Indonesia. Bank Indonesia also is a central bank for Indonesia.
Mm-hmm.
They have concern also for halal product development, because it helps the economic growth, especially in the
Mm-hmm.
city that has big Muslim population, like in my city right now, Tasikmalaya.
Mm-hmm.
So it's not only in the central of the Indonesia and Jakarta, but in the region, like in West Java, and then right now in East Java also has the agenda. So the agenda, uh, how to say, the agenda has so many um institution that
Mm-hmm.
connected in that area. So that, I think, how the government helps the people
Mm-hmm.
to develop the halal industry. And usually there are so many um, facilities for them, yeah, to get the halal knowledge, halal certification process, consultation. And yeah, hopefully, I think hopefully this kind of agenda is sustainable. And yeah, there are so many region. Yeah, maybe it's okay for the small region to get that kind of agenda, so the people, the halal awareness for the people is
Mm-hmm.
rising up. And yeah, I mean, we are as from the academic parts, like lecturer and students, maybe also can help the people to
Mm-hmm.
know more and to facilitate more with the project for the
Mm-hmm.
lecturing, something like that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
and
So
and
so
and in terms of Islamic social financing, does the Indonesian government help out, or is there any other agency, or how does it work? I mean, basically, I want you to explain to me, how does
okay.
Islamic social financing work, and who is actually the catalyst in pushing this?
Okay. Actually, Islamic social finance in Indonesia also, I think it's a leading sector too in Islamic economics part because you know that we have two parts from the state and also the private one. So we have zakat national agency, Basnas, Badan Amil Zakat Nasional, but we also have so many private zakat institution like Rumah Zakat, Sinergi Foundation. Yeah, there are so many, and they uh, they synergy uh, for for the development of Islamic social finance. We have some big project like the hospital for the A center. It comes from wakaf, but
Mhm.
the the part the parties are not only from the government but also from the private institution. Yeah, so they make it.
Mhm.
And yeah, like I said before, for National Committee of Islamic Economics and Finance, they also have the part for the Islamic social finance. So uh, I think they also have a big role, yeah, for the development of Islamic social finance because when I got internship over there, and then I saw so many focus group discussion that, yeah,
Mhm.
combine so many parts of the zakat and wakaf institutions in Indonesia in one place to what's that, to discuss about the database, about the project, about the sustainable program. That's why,
Mhm.
yeah, we also make a collaboration like WASIDS, yeah, Wakaf Center for Indonesian Development and Studies. We built Green Wakaf, and then
Mhm.
it's collaborated with IPB University and also UNDP. Yeah, that's why,
Right.
I mean, there are so many important parties in Indonesia for Islamic social finance, but I think the leading one is about Indonesian Wakaf Agency, Badan Wakaf
Mhm.
Indonesia for Wakaf, and then Badan Amil Zakat Nasional, Zakat Nasional Agency, and also we have Ministry of Religious Affairs because under the ministry we have the Department for Zakat and Wakaf Development too.
Mhm.
And for the private institution, they have forum organisasi zakat, so zakat organization forum, and for the wakaf they have wakaf productive forum.
Mhm.
Yeah, so
Mhm.
that's how Islamic social finance in Indonesia is developed.
Mhm.
And yeah, with the help of the researcher too, uh, there are so many survey that conducted
Mhm.
um, like zakat index, and then literacy wakaf literacy index. Yeah, they develop
Mhm.
to help the government.
And if say someone or a business, say, yeah, a business wants to go or wants to apply for Islamic social financing, do they have to go to various agencies like the as you said, this Zakat Foundation, this Wakaf, and then various other agency or government
Yeah.
departments, yeah, or do they just apply at to one place, yeah, it's like a one-stop shop, or do they have to choose which way they have to apply?
Okay.
How does it really work in Indonesia at the moment?
Actually, yeah, as usual, the administration task has so many parts, but it depends on the objective of the institution. I mean, if you wanna focus only for zakat, and then you can um, register like to the Ministry of Religion, but also you have to be known by the Zakat National Agency. But if you want to build the Wakaf institution, so you have
Mhm.
to, yeah, the Ministry of Religious Affairs also need to give you permission, and also for Indonesian Wakaf Agency, Badan Wakaf Indonesia, you have to make annual report for them. Yeah, so big. So I think the zakat and wakaf has different um, door for the registration, but yeah, Ministry of Religion has to give permission for that kind of things, and also for the, we can say like uh cash wakaf, yeah, and then some of the banks also, they are appointed by the Ministry of Religious Affairs. So not all Islamic banking uh, can be a bank for receiving the cash wakaf, because the ministry should give the permission first for them. Yeah, I think it's like a halal certification process. Actually, halal certification process has one way with
Yeah.
halal platform, but actually in the process we have to make like a number of ID for the business first, and then we have to go for a halal supervisor, halal auditor, something like that. Yeah, actually
Yeah.
one way, but yeah, there are so many part of them.
Yeah. So in future, as this is a subject very close to your heart, what would you like to see in terms of Islamic social financing to make it easier and maybe more transparent and efficient, for someone applying for Islamic social finance, because, as entrepreneurs, Islamic social entrepreneurs, you don't want a huge administrative task just to
Yeah,
apply, and the red
yeah,
tape, I mean, you don't want to wait for months, to get a result,
yeah.
and because, time is money, if you're in business, yeah. So what would you like to see in future in Indonesia, sister?
Okay, maybe before I answer the question, I have to share about the one. So there are so many. Actually, there are so many donation platform in Indonesia. One of the most famous one is kitabisa.com. Actually, when you use kitabisa.com, you can make any fundraising for the need one. But it's under kitabisa.com. Yeah, there are some of requirement that you should to input for the transparency, also the picture, maybe the video or something, the campaign. Yeah, yeah, it works, and it's good for us to make a movement without any offline administration task, because it's only use the one platform kitabisa.com. But for the future, I think hopefully I can get one of the first one is we can get the comprehensive database. I mean, all of the people in Indonesia should know about the legal zakat, wakaf, or maybe social finance institution, because there are so many illegal institution maybe, and then they do not distribute the fund for the needs. Yeah, that's why the requirement is quite strict. Yeah, to avoid the illegal one. So everyone should to know about the legal institution, and then the second one is about the database for the mustahik and also mawkuf alaih. I mean, the beneficiaries data should be
Right.
gathered, so they cannot receive the double fund from the different institution. I
Oh,
think
right,
the
right,
government should
right. I
have
understand what you mean.
concern about it, because maybe because there are so many rich people in Jakarta, so there are so many donation in Jakarta. But actually, yeah, it's not the goal of us to only help the people, but also to
Mhm,
encourage them to become muzaki, to become a wakif, to
mhm,
become the empower
mhm, mhm,
one. Yeah, I think so.
mhm,
The first one is the data for the legal institution, and then the database
mhm,
for the beneficiaries, and then I think the third
mhm,
one is about the real time
mhm,
transaction, yeah,
mhm,
for
mhm,
the donation, any donation. But
mhm,
actually, if you see in the website of the business, some or maybe some of the platform, actually they have like real-time information like kitabisa.com that have real
mhm,
they have
mhm,
real-time information about the donation. But there are so many projects in one institution, so maybe people will get
mhm,
more confused. So I think the best one is to have, yeah, the comprehensive platform database that gather up so all of
mhm,
the institution, yeah, to make it
mhm.
easier. And yeah, hopefully the government can get the report, real-time
Mhm.
report. Yeah, so
Yeah.
we don't have to make in one system again and different system again, yeah, because there are so many system in Indonesia actually.
So do you think a centralized database, yeah, or centralized system is the way to go, in terms of Islamic social financing?
No, I mean, the zakat institution can develop their system, yeah, by own self, but for
Right,
the
right.
government should have the a huge platform that can gather up all of the institutions, so people
Mm-hmm.
will not get confused to use the different how to say, different application, different platform, something like that, to know. And it can help the researcher, because sometimes we
Right.
we
Right.
are difficult to get the data to
Information.
develop
Yeah.
our research, or maybe our idea,
Mm-hmm.
or maybe just to deliver to the students about the current situation in our country about the database. But actually,
Mm-hmm.
when we can get the database, and then we can develop um, more real action research, yeah, that can give impact, yeah, for the nation, for the people, yeah, I think. Because sometimes when we need data, we have to, yeah, make a correspondency for some
Yes. Yeah.
artist, something like that, yeah,
Yeah. And it takes
maybe.
time. Yeah. It takes a lot of
Yeah, and
time.
then the issue
And
is not
yeah.
up to that.
Yeah, and also the data they give you, it has to be meaningful. It depends on what they're capturing as well, isn't it?
Yeah.
So yeah, inshallah, I mean, people like you, are basically doing so much for the Indonesian, people, in terms of the halal sector, the Islamic social financing, and mashallah, sister, it has been a great opportunity for me to learn about Indonesia, and I really thank you for your time.
Yeah.
Jazakallah khairan, and inshallah we'll have another talk show. This is just an
Amin.
introduction to yourself, and really I enjoyed talking to you, and in fact, you actually educate the whole world on the Indonesian sector, halal sector, really. So jazakallah khairan. Thank you so much, sister.
Thank you, Dokter.
Assalamualaikum.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.